So without further ado, please welcome Chris Thompson to the show. Welcome, Chris.
Woo.
My youngest guest yet, but one that maybe will start a trend. But I introduced you in the intro, but why don't you say hello and tell me about you and kind of your background? And I know everyone knows you're Paige's best friend, and you wanted to come on and why you wanted to come on Uncover Your Magic. So go ahead, you start.
All right. My name's Chris Thompson. I'm 16. I go to Cathedral, and yeah, that's basically it. I like to just stay chill, and I don't know what my magic is, but I cannot wait to uncover it.
Yes, I can't wait to either. So you're Chris Thompson at Cathedral, but there's so much more to you. You know, Paige is a very picky friend picker. And when she met you, it was like her the light came on inside of her. And so when I see that happening, and I know there has to be something inside of you that lit her up, tell me like, how was your childhood? Do you like your mom and dad? I can tell, you know what, let me tell you one thing, Chris, that I absolutely told everyone about that was so important and impactful to me that you did for Paige. I bet, can you guess?
No.
It was your thank you letter for from her birthday card or from her birthday present.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
that tells me right there, when I see a handwritten letter from a boy that's 15 or 16 that gives it to Paige, after she gives him a present, you have to have had amazing parents. That's what
Yep,
that tells
I
me.
do.
Tell me about him.
Well, they're just like really and like they're very constructive, and they help push me forward, and like they always try to make me do my best, like in school and outside of school, like extracurriculars, that kind of stuff. And they're just always there, like supporting me, teaching me new things. Like my dad's really handy, like tools and stuff. So he teaches me a lot about like the cars and like fixing things. My mom's very like comforting, like know how like to like read a room or like understand other people. It's like it's really helpful. It makes me grow as a person.
Did you grow up going to church? Like what was like some values that you think your mom tried to instill in you?
Well, she let me make my own decisions, but like guided me on the right path. Like I can still make my own decisions, but like I chose that I wanted to go to Cathedral, and like thankfully they had enough money for it, but like I chose that. I chose like where I wanted to go to school, but they like kind of guided me on that right path to like further enjoy my education. And yeah, I went to like church through first grade, but I got baptized, confirmed, and received the Eucharist all at 9 years old at my um at my old school, Marie Montessori, or not Marie Montessori, Madeline. I went from Marie Montessori to Madeline and then to Cathedral. So I've been at Catholic school since second grade.
Okay. And what about your dad? Tell me about him.
He is very smart. He loves to work on trucks and like solve puzzles and stuff like that. And he's always trying to like further improve me as a person. Um, Always teaching me new skills, and like he also is very handy with computers too. He works at Sony, so he knows all about computers, help me set it up. And he wants me to do it like by myself. Like he wants me to figure it out instead of just him doing it for me. So like I've learned how to use the internet or like a manual. I can like fix a tire. I can fill up my own tires. I can change oil. We've modded out his Toyota 4Runner. So that's just been really fun hanging out with him in the garage.
And your sister? I love that about your dad. That's amazing.
Yeah, she goes to my old school, Madeline, and she's really helped. Like we're best friends basically. We don't fight ever really,
Oh,
but like
wow.
yeah, we're really good friends, and we can always come and talk to each other.
Huh. And have you always been like that with her?
Um, until she's in like sixth. I mean, she's like shy until like fourth grade, but then she like started hanging out more and like was bringing friends over to our house and going to a friend's house and that kind of stuff. Just growing up and stuff, like she like got a lot more like out there and stuff like that.
You know, I can tell you are close to your mom and have a sister because you can tune into the female part of, like getting, just because Paige is like so connected to you. And for a boy to be connected to a girl like you are with her, I know you're close with your mom for sure.
Hmm.
And I love that. And it's so amazing. And I loved meeting your mom the other day. And I can't wait to meet your sister. Anyway, let's go into just a few. Like, I know I sent you questions, but I like to wing it. Like your mom said, you were going to wing it.
Yeah.
I like to wing it. So whatever comes, it just comes. But my thoughts are like, what is in your mind the hardest thing a 16-year-old goes through right now?
Well, right now, because of like COVID and stuff, it's been really hard for people to like get out there and like find friends and that kind of stuff. So, like, just social interaction for most people is kind of hard. Especially for me, like in the beginning of last year, I like knew nobody. Like, I didn't know anyone going to school, and then I like found a solid group of friends, and I figured out that I used to like sports with them and like clubs later. And I was like, "You're this person. Oh, nice to meet you," that kind of stuff. And yeah, just like made a core group of friends, and then also crew help with that. The reason I went into crew is because my friend was doing it, and I was like, oh, cool, I'll just do it with you to get in shape because I was going to do soccer and water polo instead.
Uh-huh.
But then I really enjoyed it. No other sports were going on besides crew, so it was during COVID. It was just us, 13 boys, just us. That was our only social interaction because we were all on Zoom for school. So that was our core interaction. We just came super close to each other, and like, you know, we never like stopped being friends. So to this day, we're still friends. And going into junior year, um, and I don't know if everyone's gonna keep doing crew, but everyone's still gonna stay like remain friends like the entire way through.
Yeah, that's cool. Because that's how Paige found crew. It was just everything was closed and someone put a thought in my mind with Paige wanted to row and she didn't even know what that was. She's like, what is that? And now she's has it in her blood. We would never, I always call it a COVID blessing. It was crew. Like that was like for her, for sure. Like seeing her in it, she has the eye of the tiger when she talks about crew.
Yep.
But tell me, like, so everyone always asks me because when I started this podcast right at COVID or right at when we started quarantining in March, and I didn't know how I was going to do a podcast because I'm busy taking the girls, driving them around. But in 2 days after I said yes to this podcast, the everything got shut down, and I thought, oh, I'll have plenty of time to figure out how to make a podcast. But with my girls, I've been teaching them like, gratitude, and we make vision boards all since they could cut magazines out. And, I really, I got married late and I didn't have Paige till I was 37 and Presley when I was 40. So I had all those times in before I had them to really do personal development and learn all the things that I would want to teach them. So my feeling with the girls is they were fine. We knew that this COVID experience was happening for us because that's our motto is everything's happening for you, not to you. So we enjoyed those days so much. We look back at pictures and we'd take the dogs in the golf course and, go have Monopoly games and have dinner. But a lot of kids struggled. And that's where my raising confidence class came in because I had parents calling saying, can you please help my kids? They're really struggling. No soccer, no birthday parties, no, anything. No, I mean, no school, no social interaction. How did you and your sister handle that at home with your mom and dad?
Well, it was kind of hard for us because my mom was in the she was a nurse at the time, so she was like in a psych ward. So there's like a lot of like COVID regulations and all that kind of stuff. So that was really tough for her. And my dad could just work from home, but he likes to like social interaction and he's very like face to face with people whenever he's doing interviews for people that coming into his work. So that was kind of hard for them. But for me, I kind of already knew the people because I used to play video games and we would like talk through different sites and video games and stuff like that. So it wasn't that big of a deal for me, but towards the end, I was really starting to feel like, wow, I'm not having my eighth grade um, graduation. I'm not going into freshman year. I'm not going to like know what freshman year feels like. But like, I just made the best of it as it was. Played a lot of video games, met a lot of people, and just yeah, try to make the best of it as much as possible. Worked on myself.
Did you experience friends that were depressed or you felt were having a hard time?
I did have one. He's having a hard time. His grandma was like she was like really old, and she lived with them, so he couldn't do anything. He couldn't like go out of the house. or go to the store or anything like that because they didn't want to risk it. So this was back like in the like summer of like eighth grade going into freshman year. And so he had like he just stay on video games all day and his sleep schedule was messed up and like he was like wasn't in the right mind space. So like sometimes he would just cry and cry like the entire night
Oh,
because he didn't know like
wow.
when to go to sleep or like anything like that. So it was pretty rough for him.
Huh. You know, another quality I love about you is what I've noticed is you don't judge and you're so excited. Like I always say, everyone's on their own journey. We always, at this age in life as a teenager, it's the kids don't get that. They don't know how to not judge and they're looking at other people and, whatever they wear or, the things they do, but you don't. And I think that's amazing. Why do you think that?
I just don't see a problem with what people do. Like, it's not my business. It's not like my thing to like judge them. Like, it's their like choice to do whatever they want. Like, if they're doing something bad, I'm always gonna like tell them like, hey, you should probably shouldn't be doing this. But like, I'm not gonna like force them to do something because it's like, yeah, their journey. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, but you are so amazing at that. I mean, I can tell Paige can say something about someone and you just skate right over it and it's just a beautiful thing. And I wanted you to know I noticed that because it's amazing. Who's your biggest mentor like in life? Could you think of?
Well, I have like a role model and then like my mentor. My mentor's probably like my dad, teach me a whole bunch of stuff, like make sure I'm on the right path and just doing all that stuff, making sure that everything I do like means something, like everything he teaches me has like a reason for it. Um, and probably my role model, I know it's kind of funny, but a YouTuber, his name is Balin Levine. He's very anti-drugs, anti-alcohol, and it's like made me like just not want to do anything. Like he made it to the point where like he put this idea in my head that if a whole bunch of people are doing it and you don't want to, if they force you into doing it, you're the weird one. You're the one like that not supposed to be there. If if you don't do it, you're stronger, you bettered yourself, and like you're not the weird one in that group. Because if you want to fit in with some people that are like doing that kind of stuff, like it's not okay.
Right. And why do you think you feel that way?
Because that like I mean, I've never been around that kind of stuff, but like if I was, I knew like I know what to do and like I prepared myself for that.
What do you
And
tell me what you would do?
probably just not like you wouldn't tell them like what to do with their body. Like you don't want to like tell them you shouldn't be doing that, but like you just like don't do it. You can still like hang out with them, like talk to them. They can't like not be your friend if they do that, but like you just gotta like embrace the fact that they do that and like not judge.
Right. And you don't. Have you ever been at a party where they were doing drinking or vaping or anything?
No, I've actually never been to a party.
Yeah, either is Paige. And I know that her meeting you and knowing the only like she's like, Mom, he would never even go. And there was a party the freshman year, I think it was Halloween, that she just couldn't believe these friends that, what she was hearing was happening. And I said, that's why we moved you to a bigger school. We wanted you to experience that with us there before you go to college, because that happens. But to have a strong mind like you do, I know why Paige does is because Richard and I have ingrained it in her. Why does your mom and dad, is it just the way they are that makes you want to be like that? Or have they, drilled it in you? Or what do you think makes you even not even want to go to a party?
Well, I would say I just like don't want to go, but like just like human interaction is fun for me. Like I make my memories based on like hanging out with friends and like not just like going on vacations or doing stuff fun, like hanging out with core friends. That's like my favorite part of like life basically. Like that's like what I want to do. But I mean, obviously my parents have told me like, this is right. Like you should, it's like your choice, but this is what you should be doing. These are like lessons that you need to learn before you go into high school, before you go into college. And yeah, I think I'm very like prepared compared to most people. Like, yeah, I know to earn money. I have to like earn my own car. I don't just get everything instantly like most people. I'm not just like babied around. Like I'm like forced to learn by myself and like with the help of my parents.
What's the best advice you've ever been given?
Um, chill out. Like it's not that deep. Just chill out. Don't like take everything super harshly. Like everything's gonna be fine. Like it's not gonna be a big deal. Just you just gotta chill out and not worry about it.
What are your feelings on social media with your friends?
Um, I don't think social media is such like a big deal as other people say it is. Like I understand it's a like some people take it like their life, that's their life, but for me it just makes me laugh. Seeing like people like really like they're mad at someone over social media, like it doesn't matter. So I mean, it's funny, lots of funny videos, it just brightens my day sometimes, like, scrolling through YouTube, scrolling through TikTok, makes me like happy. So I don't think it makes me depressed or anything. I think it actually helps.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I always tell the girls like, you know, what you put out there will never go away. And I've seen some things from Paige's Instagram that makes me wonder, these girls or boys, if they really know that, that can ruin their whole life,
Yep.
and that's the part that, and I know you're not like that. I just wondered if you even fed into that, but if it makes you happy, that's important.
Mhm.
Do you have a morning routine?
No, I just wake up and I go to school. I just kind of like go with the flow. I mean, I usually have a morning routine where like I wake up, eat breakfast, then change, but like most of the time it's completely different because some mornings I'm going to the gym working out or at school, or I have to go meet with a teacher, or sometimes I have to like take my dog for a walk. So every single day it's different, but you just gotta be prepared for that.
Do you have like a, I mean, spiritual practice or anything that you learned from going to church that you like? Do you pray? Do you anything like that? Like the girls and I have our morning affirmations. We say our prayer on the way to school. We say that, I mean, you would, if you were a fly on the wall, you would laugh at our routine. But you don't do you do any of that?
No, not really. I kind of just like center myself in my body. Like I kind of like sit in my bed before school. I just think about like what's gonna happen today. Like kind of plan my day out, think about it, and like set time aside to just chill out.
Just chill out.
Yeah.
That's the word. Chill out, dude.
Yep.
Why did you pick? So you picked crew because it was the only thing,
Mhm.
right? And what do you love about that? Just being around your friends and having the common sport to do together?
Yeah, it's just like being around like my friends, just we're all hanging out, all making each other laugh. And most of the time it's like having fun rowing as like one group. Everyone's super bonding together because they're all in like one tight space for like an hour. But and sometimes you get sick of people, but like that's what makes you stronger with each other.
Right. What do you think is an important quality that you look for in a friend?
Um, Loyalty because like you need them like not to like talk bad about you behind their back. And like for me, I don't really care, but like some people like really like that's their big deal. Like they can't deal with someone like talking bad behind them. Like they're very like focused on it. But yeah, you just like kind of like got to make sure they're not doing that all the time. Like, want to make sure that they're your friend. They're not just like talking bad about you. And then also they're funny because you want them to like hang out with them to be enjoyable and like to be like fun. But if you make it to where it's like they're just not funny, they're just not talking. Like, I mean, some people are like kind of awkward or socially awkward, and like you got like you can still hang out with them, but like you want someone that you can hang out with and it's like a chore like you that you can like relate to.
Right. What was your like when you look back at your childhood, what would be like the most amazing memory so far in your
Um,
life?
so in first grade I was at Murray Montessori and it was like 2013, 2012 and um everyone was eating ice cream and it was like the end of the year party. So like all the teachers were like we were all dancing on like this huge gym floor and it was kids from first all the way through eighth and we're all just hanging out and I remember like Party Rock Anthem was playing and like everyone was jumping up and everyone's having a good time. And then all I could think about was like just like hanging out after summer and like after school. All I could think about was like watching TV, hanging out with my friends at the park, all that kind of stuff.
Do you miss being that kid?
Yes, every single day.
I know. Tell me why.
Nothing really matters. Like nothing you do actually like affects your life. And everything was perfect.
And it's not now.
I mean, oh, everything's perfect now, but like literally going to the park every day, not having to worry about grades or school or like a car. It's perfect. Like
Easy.
just chilling.
Yeah. Chilling. We're back to chilling.
Yep.
And if you like could tell your first grader standing around on that table or whatever dancing, what advice would you give him?
Never grow up.
Never grow up. Well, you have to grow up, but do you mean like always have a kid in yourself? Have, what is that?
Always be able to like have fun, make jokes, not like take everything super seriously. Because I mean, you have to take stuff seriously sometimes, but if you're taking everything seriously all the time, no one's going to want to hang out with you because like you're not fun. So if you're just like chilling, having a good time, make the best out of something that's maybe bad, like people are going to want to hang around you more.
Yeah. And what do you see like in the future for you? Like you're going to finish graduating at Cathedral in 2 years. Can you believe I'm even saying that?
That's crazy.
I remember when we had dinner that night and you're like, I can't believe I'm going to be a junior.
Yeah.
I can't believe you guys are either. It's just, believe me, as a mom, I want to go back to you guys being in first grade. I would do anything for that. So, and I always say that to the girls. I pull into the school and think, remember when you were with this teacher and you were so cute and we were in the car seats and I want the car seats back. So tell me your future. Like what do you see for yourself?
To be honest, I have no idea. I've talked with my parents about it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to set myself up right now, like good grades, like just good sports, like helping myself so whenever I know what I want to do, I can do it.
And do grades come easy for you?
No, not really. Like, I mean, I don't really, if you count it, but like in like fourth and fifth grade, like I was getting D's and F's in like every single class.
Oh,
And
wow.
like my parents like really told me like, Chris, you gotta like step it up. Like this won't fly in like eighth grade or like high school. So then I like really dug deep, figured out how I learn, figured out like what I need to do. And my mom really helped me and my dad really helped me study. And then I got straight A's, eighth grade, seventh grade, and right now I have like a 4.0.
Yeah,
So
that's amazing. I'm so
yeah,
proud of you.
thanks.
And I know that you work hard at that. And like that Richard and I were talking about that one day. Like have we ever taught Paige really how to study? It takes I remember in eighth grade she clicked, but before that it was like, a struggle. We struggled. She
Yeah,
did. And in eighth grade, she really like she went from a struggling girl up to seventh grade and then 4 point something, like the biggest honor roll she could have got. And I just was like, all those teachers used to worry, like she needs extra help. But it's just, I think it clicks, don't you?
yeah. It just you gotta figure out like a rhythm on how do you study. Like you gotta look over it. Then you gotta. My mom, the way I study is my mom quizzes me, and like I'll do something else, like do the dishes or like just like bounce a ball or like do something so I can distract myself. And then like it was somehow like my brain works. Like if I'm doing something and studying, it just clicks better.
Hmm.
So like if someone quizzes me on like vocab or like how to do a problem, that's easier than just like reading or like listening to someone speak.
So do you want to have a family one day and have kids and get married and all that?
Yeah, that
Does
seems
that
cool.
interest you?
Hmm.
What like for your like as a father, what do you think qualities that you would want to be? What are qualities as a dad that you think are important?
Like teaching someone like your kids how to do something and like not just like you want to teach them the first time and then maybe the second time, but on that third time you want them to understand like how to do it or figure it out from themselves. Because like if they can't figure it out for themselves, how are they going to figure out other stuff when they're older? So like you want to that's what my parents do. Like focusing on me figuring it out for myself, looking it up on the internet, looking up in a manual. um, there's been times where like we'll be driving the truck and there'll be like a light on the thing. And my dad's like, "What does that light mean?" And I have to like scroll through the manual and figure out how to read it. Like so, yeah. It's I mean it's kind of harsh, but like that's one thing that you need to like focus on like teaching like making someone figure it out for themselves is better than just telling them how to do it.
Right. Do you do your own laundry?
Yes.
You do and fold them
Yeah.
and put them away?
Maybe not fold them, but I do put them away.
Do you wash them in the washing machine?
Yeah.
Good job. See, I remember being in college and all the girls that were in my dorm room that had their mom do everything for them were
Mhm.
clueless. So I always tell Paige, you, at this stage of the game, you better know how to do all that stuff because you don't want to get to school and be like, where's my mom? I
Yeah.
don't know how to do that.
My parents have told me like horror stories from when they were in like the dorms and like someone didn't know how to do the dishes, or they like my dad was living in a house with like a few of his friends, and this guy never did the dishes as a kid, so he just didn't do them. He to them like they all stack up, and then he would like try to get someone else to do them for him. Like I mean, me and my sister have like dish week. One person does the dishes, the other cleans the bathrooms, and then we'll swap dish weeks.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So
That's
like it
amazing.
just reinforces like yeah, later in life, like you'll know like when to do stuff, like how to do it, that kind of stuff.
When you think of like your future and getting, having a family, what excites you the most about that?
Um, Teaching someone else like how to do something because like I've learned a lot from my dad and like teaching someone else, like my kid how to do it would just be like really cool.
And your mom does that with your sister?
Yeah. Well, they both do it, but mostly my dad helps me on like the truck and that's like main part of the weekends usually.
That is what you do. Cause I remember
Yeah.
you were supposed to go to SeaWorld with Paige when she didn't feel good. And you're like, that's okay. I've got to do chores. So you have
Yep.
to make the money what's the deal with to buying a car?
Oh yeah, so it's complicated right now. We're gonna go to like a dealership, I think, um, soon, and we're gonna figure it out because there's these 2022 Corollas that have really good gas mileage, but they're pretty expensive. They're like 22,000 dollars.
Mm-hmm.
But my family or my mom and my dad want me to get. I want to get a hybrid car too because gas is super expensive right now. So they're pointing more towards like a Prius, but the thing is that a Prius, like a 2006 Prius with like 100,000 miles on it, is gonna be 17 to $15,000.
Oh my
Why don't,
gosh.
yeah, they're really expensive right now. Why don't you just pay the extra 5 grand to get a car with better gas mileage and it's like newer with no miles, so you know it's like not gonna run out, like die on you.
Right. But do you have to pay a certain amount of the car to get the car?
Yeah, so my grandma gave me a loan of 2,000 and then gave me 3,000. My other grandma gave me 1,000. So right now, and my parents gave me 5 grand. So right now I'm at $10,000 towards a car,
Oh,
which,
perfect.
but the thing is for a hybrid, which is what I want to get, that's like nowhere close
Oh,
because
funny.
they all jack their prices up because the gas mileage, your
Right.
gas prices right now.
Oh,
So
I know. That's all we see in the car, all the Teslas and the Priuses.
yeah,
Like they're the ones that aren't today. I must because I drive Paige to Belmont Park every week, every day, 6 days a week. I go to that gas station 3 times a week, and it's
oof,
$117 each time.
yeah.
Oh, and I think, gosh, that's like $300 a week. What I could do with that money if I had a Prius or a Tesla.
And that's like basically paying off your car in a year, is paying for a new car every
Yeah.
year through gas. So you might as well get like a hybrid or something. Like right now we have like the Forerunner, the Highlander, which is like my mom's car, and then we have a Leaf, which we're charging. It's like an all electric car, but it doesn't go that far. But it's saving us a lot of money right now since solar and the electric car. Like that's what we're taking around to like zipping around town, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that's so good that you have that. Oh, that's amazing. So your sister's a year young, 2 years younger than you,
Hmm.
and she's going to Cathedral next year.
Yes.
What would you give her for advice?
Oh, I've talked to her about it too. Just make sure you find that core group of friends in the first few weeks, and you have all year to like branch out and find new friends, but you want to find that core group of friends and at least one person in each class you can relate to or talk to. Because if you don't, the class is just going to go by so much longer. And if you can't find someone to talk to at lunch, just in general, school is not going to be fun. Because the best part about school is just hanging out with your friends and like talking with them, figuring out what they're doing after school and sports. So I'm trying to push her, maybe not to do crew, but like I want her to do field hockey, because that's what I want to do. Then I feel, yeah, it was a girl sport, so I
Oh,
couldn't do it.
really?
But yeah,
It is?
yeah.
Huh.
So I want Kier to do that. So I'm really excited for her to experience field hockey and stuff like that.
Yeah, and be at school with you
Yeah.
again for 2 more years. That's it, huh?
Hmm.
I know Paige only gets to be with Presley for 1 year.
Yeah.
They're 3 years difference. But I just to have, I think of you guys with COVID being, half of eighth grade, pretty much lucky that you got to go a little bit during ninth grade. But to start high school, with, brand new school, ninth grade, there's worse things that we could experience, but, having your mind set on the right, like your mindset right to know that, you know, to find the right people to connect. And I think it's different for a girl, and I might be biased because I have two girls, but maybe you could tell me differently. Do you think it's different for a boy than it is a girl with friends and dealing with like sitting around at lunch?
Um,
You
I don't
froze.
really know. Uh, kind of lagging right now. So
There you go.
I think it's not like different. I mean, it might be different. I don't really know. But for me, I knew a few people coming into a cathedral. Like I knew a group of kids I used to play video games with. So that's the people I talked to at the beginning. Like I walked into school, instantly saw them. That was my friend group for the first couple weeks. But then I started transitioning more into like my true friends, my old friends that are from my old school, and then finding new friends in multiple of my classes. And right now I was friends with people I like didn't even know freshman year. So it's really cool how that works. And it's not like freshman year, that's their only friends that you can hang out with. Those are the only people that you're ever going to talk to. Like it changes every single year. But yeah, I don't think the big thing is don't let anyone else change like who you are, because if you're hanging with that friend group and they're constantly like they're completely different, but they're forcing you to change as well, then that's not someone you want to like hang out with unless it's changing for the better.
Right. What's peer pressure to you? Like, what do you think kids these days, what is, because in my day, it was not what you guys are going through. Peer pressure, that the meaning of that is a completely different experience. What is peer pressure in your mind? Like, what would be somebody that would be a person that would steer you down the wrong? What would they be doing that you would say, oh, wait, hold on a second. That's not my group.
Like probably someone that's trying to force you to do something you just don't want to do, like the usual. But
What do you mean? Like drinking or what?
yeah, all that stuff, and then like maybe like something you want to do to your friend, like post something bad about them or talk bad about them, that kind of stuff. It's just like not cool. And like like if you're forcing someone to do that, like they're not actually your friend.
Okay, keep going, Chris.
So I think it's someone that like if they're doing something and then they want you to do it with them, or they want you to do something that they're too scared to do, that's peer pressure. Like post something bad, talk bad about someone that you know, or like yeah, drugs, alcohol, they're doing it, you should do it too. That's just all peer pressure. That's like, I mean, not cool. It's like not a good thing to be around. There's a difference between peer pressure and then like joking around, like saying, "Oh, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this." But like you're not like actually being serious. Like it's obviously a joke. It's completely different than like, "Oh, you should totally try this." Like if you don't try this, I'm probably gonna like say something bad about you, or I'm like going to beat you up. Like that kind of stuff's just not cool. It's not like necessary at all. And then they're probably the weaker person because they feel like they're in the minority if you're not doing it.
Right. Totally. I love it. Tell me about, like, when you think of your circle of friends at lunch and you're all hanging out, what is your topic of conversation?
It changes every day. But it's usually mini conversations between everyone, because there's just a lot of people in our friend group. Um, I couldn't even name a single one, because lunch goes by so fast. It feels like a 5 minute break. I don't really know, but usually just hanging out, what we're doing after school, what we're doing for crew, like classes, that kind of thing. But then like also like we're gonna do this weekend, hanging out, and then like video games, of course, TV show.
Oh, okay. Like the Fortnite, is that your video game?
No, not really, but like yeah, like video games that we play, just
Okay.
hanging out and talking.
So what's your favorite? Like if you had to pick a perfect weekend, what would it be?
Um, uh, every weekend's cool, but sunny beach. I'd probably go skimboarding with some friends, and then after that go to the movies, and after that sleep over. That'd be fun.
I always talk about core values with my students. You're okay. Now that we have some stable internet, um, I core values. And I always, with my students, I can pick it out. I can tell you what your top 5 core values are by what you talk about, like your favorite thing of the weekend, how you talk about your family, your friends, what you like to do. Do you know what would you say do you know what core values are?
Not necessarily, but is it just like things that you go by like every single day?
Yeah,
Like
like family would be, because if, I would say, for an example, you talk about your family a lot. That would be like if you had to make a decision, it would be, and it had to include family, that would be at the top of your list. So those kind of things.
probably, yeah.
Friends would be what else?
I'd probably put family first and then friends second, because like family because I'm around them half the time and they're the people that teach me a lot and tell me and teach me what to do, when to do it. And they also feed me and give me a house. That's pretty cool. And send me to a good school. Um, people I can talk to. And then my second would probably be friends because they're the people that I am always around. They're the people that not really change who I am, but they like kind of form and like the way I act. And that's why you want to surround yourself with like a solid core friend group that you know they're gonna like only better you and not like bring you down. My third would probably be I don't know,
Health, because you
health,
exercise or
probably emotional health, like not being stressed out ever, not ever like big thinking the entire world is against you. Like you're chilling, you're gonna be okay. It's just another day, almost to summer. And fourth would be meant like just physical health, always staying healthy, working out, going on runs, eating like not total junk food. Um, I don't know what my last one would be.
fun, having
Fun,
fun.
having fun, yeah,
How's
probably.
that? That's what I would say. Your mom has her nursing job is with the psychiatric,
Hmm.
and does that influence, like when she's working and has experienced those kind of patients, and now she started her new job, which is amazing, to her new company to help mothers that need psychiatric help right after they have a baby,
Hmm.
which I love. And when I heard that and what she was doing when you told me that day, it says so much about, well, everything about who she is and how caring and amazing mom that she must be for you, and to want to nurture these people that have mental issues, right? And that have to start being a mother on top of
Hmm.
that. So when she was telling me that, but when I see in you, like when you say chill and, it's all good, nothing is, you're very, um, shoot. Okay. Sorry, everybody. I don't know. I've never had a Wi-Fi problem, but we're doing it. But back to your mom and understanding who she is and how you were raised, especially because I don't have boys, so it's a different experience. And she has a girl and a boy, but that connection with your mom, like my sisters both have 2 boys, so they have that experience of that mom and son connection. How describe that? What is that with your mom? How do you describe that?
It's kind of towards the same as my dad, but my mom, I can like, I can't like relate to her more than my dad. Relate to them the exact same, but she just always wants the best for me, and like she's always trying to like make me like make the right decisions and push me to do better in life. I don't think there's a specific connection we have that like is like stronger than anything else, but I mean, my mom, she brought me into this world. That's pretty cool. Um, and I just, yeah, she's amazing.
Have you ever gotten into big trouble and been grounded?
Yeah, multiple times. But it
Tell me
was
one. Tell me
what
the
is
best one.
anything like horrible, like doing the dishes but not doing them fully, and like my parents keep asking me to do it, and I just can like I don't do it enough. Then like I can't play video games for like a weekend or something like that. But it's nothing huge.
You say you've never been like done something so bad where you had besides the dishes?
Well, one time I like opened, it was crazy. So I opened it was Sunday morning, and I was playing my video games in the front room, and there was like a ring at the doorbell. And so I took off my headset, I ran to the door, and I was like, who is it? And they said it was my grandma. And so it wasn't obviously my grandma. My grandma was actually in South Korea at the time, but I wasn't really paying attention to that because I was just trying to get back to my video game. So I walked out there, I opened up the door, and it's these two old ladies that are like like holding the door open and like, where's your parents? And I'm like, they're like in the house. But I was like in eighth or seventh grade at the time, so I didn't know what to do. And they're like, well, we need to see them. And I'm like, why? And they said like they're part of like the church up there. Like there's a church and they like all go down, like constantly like tell us to come to church. And we already went to like another one. So like, all right, we already go to a different church. Like we're okay. And like they kept holding the door open. And so like I eventually just got my mom. My mom came out there like we're okay. And like she closed the door. And my dad got super like mad at me because like what if it was like someone that was like trying to like harm us or like take something away from us? You can't just open up the door. You like think before you open up the door. Cause like my grandma like wasn't even in town at the time. So like how would she be at the door? So like just like focusing on like staying in the moment and not just trying to like rush get back to video games or like rush to do something else. You want to complete that task before you switch on.
Right. I always talk about being in the moment. Describe that for me. What is being in the moment?
Just centering yourself like at that time, you want to put all your energy into that one action. Like, you never want to if you want to stay in the moment, you don't want to think of something else. You want to think of this, you want to think of like grades, school, like what you're gonna do when you get home. You just want to just stay in that moment and focus and put all your energy towards it so you can do your best at it.
What didn't you say your grandma had a influence on you? Like she's didn't you weren't you telling me something about that? Is that the
Um,
grandma you're talking about?
yeah, she's like perfect. I thought she was a robot whenever I was a kid because she was too nice.
She's too nice. Is it your mom's or
Yeah,
dad's mom?
it was my dad's mom.
But tell me, but there was something about her that you really admired. I forget what you were saying.
Her patience, I think it was, because she's like always like whenever I was a kid, I would constantly just like not care about like what like she was saying because she wasn't my parents, but she like constantly like she'd wait until like I calmed down, and then she would like help me do something or like um I didn't want to do the dishes once, and she like when I think I was in like sixth grade, and I just threw the biggest temper tantrum, like screaming and like throwing stuff. And she like patiently waited, and then she was like, "Chris, you have to do this. We're not going to do anything else until you do it like this." And so I just taught
Cute.
me how to like just like do it her way and like focus on like staying like just in that moment and chilling out to where after this I can go do something else if I just get this done. But the thing is that if you think about like, if I get this done, I can go to do that thing, you're not actually staying in the moment. So you want to like focus on that and put all your energy towards it. So then you could go have fun later, like work hard, play hard.
Yes. Do you see that in friends that do that? Does that
Yes. Uh-huh.
tell me about that? Because I do too. I see it with, I mean, I see it with my friends. But that what is that? What is a someone that that you can see? Like, do you think Paige lives in the moment, or do you think she's always thinking of something next, 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 next?
I think she's always living in the moment, especially when she's rowing. She like devotes her entire time to just that, doing it. When I was studying with her, she wanted to do it. She like wanted to do it better her like math or like English or whatever she was doing. Like wants to like accomplish that goal and then you can move on to the next thing. And yes, there's always something in like the back of your head, like, oh, there's a 2K coming up, or oh, I need to get in this boat in this seat. But like always putting your like all into one thing, even though those things are going on, is like really impressive.
What? Why do you think you're her best friend?
I don't know.
You don't
Uh,
know. What comes to your mind?
being nice, I guess, but that's really all I can think of.
But what's your connection? Because she's never had a best friend like you. Like at this age too, it's like it means more as you get older. You're becoming, closer to being an adult, and you understand your values, and you're not just spending time with people just to spend time. And I know she'd rather be, she's not going to just go sit around with a bunch of people that don't, have the same values, or don't talk like she does. And she's very, I mean, just watching her, mature. And then I see her connecting to you. And that is curious to me as a mom. Like, like she's really never had any kind of, like, the boys in her life are all these crew boys. And which I love, because they have that, they're driven, and they, have a purpose, and they want to do well. And it tells a lot about a person. But there's this connection that I love, that I see her, she trusts you. Like there's just a cool connection. What you did, but you don't, it's just like nothing to you. I know it's something to you, but I meant you can't put a finger on it.
I can't really like describe it in words. I don't know. We're just like just best friends, just connecting like that.
Who's the guy, who's your Drew? Who's the go-to guy for you?
Um, I have a lot. My mom tells me I have like a problem with saying everyone's like my best friend
Oh,
because
cool.
like I'm always like super close to everyone. But I think my solid four would be, or like five. Probably my friend Jack. The reason we're like such good friends is our sisters were friends, but like they kind of like grew apart, or like they never like they stopped kind of hanging out all the time. And our moms are friends and they were friends. But me and Jack were like the older brothers. We were both older, and he's a grade older than me, so he's a junior right now. He doesn't go to Cathedral, but he's just like always like my go-to guy. He like always helping me grow as a person, and he's like one of my best friends. And I've been so many adventures with him, like in Death Valley, and we went on vacations together,
Fun.
in like super cold environments, and like we've seen each other at like highs and lows. So that's probably like my best friend out of everyone.
What's
Um,
your what so wait, what would be your what's a low for Chris? I can't imagine.
just like there was one time whenever like just pushing through something you just really do not want to do. Like one time I did a 10-mile hike when I was like 9 or 10. We went backpacking with my family, so I had like a 35-pound backpack on, and we were backpacking, and like I just wanted to roll off that cliff. It was so horrible. It was so hot and dry. We were up in the mountains, so there's like no air, and we're like walking. It was 10 miles, but like it pushed me to like, if I can do that, I can like do anything, because it was miserable.
But like a low, do you ever get like a low where you're, you know, uh, depressed or sad or low, like that kind of a low?
I guess everyone goes through that, but like you just gotta sit down and think about it. Like it's gonna get better. Like
Oh,
I can't really describe.
so go ahead, tell me what your low, that kind of low is, or not.
For me, it's kind of hard to explain, but just like I don't know. I don't like. I have no motivation to do anything for like a solid like day and a half, and like I don't really want to like engage in any conversations. I'm like very just low energy, low enthusiasm, that kind of thing. But I'm usually not that. Like that's not that much.
I
So I just
know
kind of
you're
push through
not.
it.
You do. And
Hmm.
when you think of, I can think girls are kind of like drama, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have two girls, and with when it's a boy, I don't think moms experience that drama, because you can just slide through it, right?
Hmm.
Because that's amazing to watch and to hear Paige talk about. Well, Chris just like, it's no big deal, chill. Wait, um what was the name or the saying that you guys used when you wanted to go to the formal, the one at Liberty Station, and she
Oh, it's
was in New
casual.
York? Oh yeah, it's casual. That's the words. Oh my gosh, we laughed so hard. It's casual. It's
Yep.
chill. It's chill. So tell me, so why did you even want to come on the show?
Well, I wanted to like uncover magic and like figure out because I've never like actually done like an interview or anything like this. This is just really interesting to me, and it was cool to like talk to you about like that kind of thing, and figure all that kind of stuff out because I've never like talked and like actually saw that my parents like talking
Sorry,
talking about it
sorry.
now. It makes it so where like I actually like believe in that kind of stuff and like those core values. Like now that I like understand them and see them, I'll probably like think about them more like whenever like further in my life and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Um, if there was one question I didn't ask you that you really wanted me to ask, what would it have been?
Um, Probably what was the last music I listened to?
Oh yeah, tell me.
Party Rock Anthem.
That's your song. Every time we hear that
Yep.
song, Paige just turns it up. This is for Chris. And then she'll get her Snapchat out and videotape it or yeah, but why is that song so meaningful to you?
It reminds me of like when I was a kid and stuff, and it's a very upbeat song, so it's just really like fun to listen to. Like on, I could listen to it on loop all day.
What so like when you think of we're ending, but I always have these like little sporadic questions coming up. When you think of the way you are and like who you're going to become and who you're becoming and like going into college and figuring that out, that's going to be in 2 years. It's the next 2 years of your life are pretty big deals.
Yeah.
When I think of decisions being made, grades being important, all those things. What when you think of the next 2 years, what goes through your mind? Like, I have to what?
Stress because it's just gonna be all school, all colleges, trying to get those hours in for like community stuff, just to like look better on your college record just to get in those schools. Um, and I don't really know like what I want to do when I grow up. Like I gotta still figure that out. But you want to, I believe, and you need to know what you want to do before you go into college. Because if you're just going there just to go to college, that's kind of like a waste of money, waste of time. Because if you want to do something that doesn't involve college, like I don't know, be like a social media person, or you want to become someone that does something for the community, like a volunteer, you shouldn't have to go to college just to do that. Like some jobs don't require that. So going to college, you want to know what you want to do before you get there because, or at least know kind of around what you want to do. And that should bring you joy because your job should bring you joy, not be like something like a chore you have to constantly do.
Exactly.
Like
And I was that person at school, at college. Sorry, continue.
my one goal is just not to like end up in a job where I'm like going like a 9 to 5 in like a cubicle doing stuff that's like so useless.
Yeah,
Because that's, I mean, I don't know. That just doesn't seem like worth it to me.
good. I love it. But I was the girl at college that went to college because everyone went to college. And I changed my major at least 15 times. And that's why I talk to Paige about things that interest her now, so they can start to formulate that in their head. Like, oh, if I like this, there's these things that you can focus on. But are you one like, what if you get to 12th grade? Or it would probably, yeah. And by your senior year, you'd have to know. What if you're like, I don't even know what I want to do? I think I'm just going to maybe go to community college or work. Would that be even in your mind? Or would you really want to college?
Um,
Is it?
Probably not. I'd probably end up going just straight to college. Or there's a community college up right next to my house. It's Mesa College. So I mean, I could
I
always
went
go
there.
there. You did?
I did when I moved
Oh,
from Washington. I went to Washington State for 2 years and then moved to San Diego and had to get my residency before I went to San Diego State. So I had to go to Mesa for a year.
yeah. I mean, I basically grew up in that parking lot. Just like riding my bike. That's where I learned to ride my bike, learned how to play basketball, soccer, all that kind of stuff was in that
Oh,
park in that
funny.
area up there.
Huh.
Yeah.
But you really believe in college? You don't think, what if you wanted to be an entrepreneur and you found this idea of a business and you're like, I don't even need to go to college for that. Would you do it then, or would you go to college first and then what?
Um, for me personally, I know I'm going to end up going to college. My parents already like have reinforced that. And I'm kind of excited because I mean, it's like the last bit of school I have to do. Um, but it's not something that I'm like dreading. Like it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna make the best of it. But in these 2 years, I do want to focus on like myself and what I want to do when I'm like older and like for a job to earn money, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Tell me, because I have my students that in my class that we work on that, because we work on goals and I tell people you can be, do, or have anything. There's no limits. What would you tell me some tools, because, or I'll help you with tools, but to be able to figure out what excites you, what's your passion, at 16 years old, it's like, what would be, if I said something like, what would be your passion, and listening to your intuition when you're answering the question, like really tuning in, like, what am I passionate about? What would I wake up in the morning and couldn't wait to go do? What would that be?
Make people laugh and like make people smile. Like,
So be a comedian.
I guess, yeah.
Go to the comedy store.
Yeah.
101 comedy 101. Is that going to be your degree?
I don't know. I mean, it's like the highlight of my day, like maybe other people laugh or like me laughing myself. Like that's kind of like my highlight. So maybe my own talk show or something like that.
Oh,
That'd
there
be
you
fun.
go. Yeah. Okay. You could do communications. I studied communications for a while because I wanted to be like a newscaster. Paige wants to be one of those sports, down on the football
Yeah, she was
field.
telling me. Yeah, the people
Okay.
that like do the reporting stuff.
Yeah. Like Tom Brady, how did you like that play? That's what
Hmm.
she was. So we've
Yeah.
been talking like, well, that would be communications. You'd have to take that. Anyway, okay, Chris, I've loved our talk. I talked for an hour. That's amazing, right? Besides
Yeah.
our Wi-Fi thing, that at least it'll be fine. But um, what I already asked you, what question did I not ask? And it was your music. What now that we finished an hour on Uncover Your Magic, what is your magic?
I think can I say two things?
You can say 5 things.
Okay. Chilling and making people laugh. I think that's my magic right now.
I love it. And you do, and you're so good at chilling. I always tell Presley she likes to relax, and we joke about that. Anyway, Chris, thank you so much for
Thanks for
being
having
here.
me.
You're so welcome. I loved it, and I think you're an amazing human, beautiful soul. Your mom and dad have done an amazing job. I couldn't praise them anymore to know what they raised. This amazing Chris Thompson that is going to be out in this world one day making a difference. You're a leader. You have your values in order. You know what you want. Well, you're figuring out what you want, but
Yeah.
you want to have a passion. It's so important. The values and what's important in life. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And
Thank you so much.
thank you for being such a beautiful and amazing friend to Paige.
No problem.